3, 2, 1.
Well, hello, and welcome to another episode of Fly High Comp Sci, the podcast that helps you level up your tech game. I am your host, Mr. Nolan, aka the Intel Guy. And today's episode is all about locking down your gear. That's right, 6 essentials to hardening your hacking lab. If you want to be in cybersecurity, you need to know how to secure your own gear before securing a network. That's right. Learning to harden your attack box prepares you to be an asset rather than a liability. So let's talk about it. All right, we've got some ground to cover with our Kali lockdown protocol. It's a heavy checklist, but we're going to move fairly quickly. I've condensed the techniques into fast-paced segments. Don't worry about missing anything. I've got you covered with a list of all of the commands. You can always rewind the video later, but for now, just focus on the concepts. And the first one is identity. We're going to change the default credentials. If you're still running Kali with the initial password, then you're vulnerable to attack. That's right. You're really considered low-hanging fruit. We're going to lock down that entry point before our first packet ever hits the internet. Next is all about access control. We're dropping the using of root and creating a brand new standard user for normal activity. This is the principle of least privilege. We're shrinking our scope of impact so that even if a session gets hijacked, the attacker is trapped at the user level. They don't even have access to touch the kernel, and that's a good thing. Third is maintenance. Security hygiene isn't optional for us, it's the baseline. This means we're going to harden the OS against known exploits now so we're not fighting fires later on. Step 4 is all about the perimeter. We're going to deploy UFW with a default deny posture. We want a silent box. If we didn't ask for the packet, then let the firewall drop it. We're cutting the noise and minimizing our exposure to the outside world by using a firewall. 5 is all about defense. We're bringing in CLAM AV. This is our post-compromise insurance. Even the best perimeters get breached from time to time. And if a malicious payload touches our attack box, we want signature-based detection to flag it before it can ever execute. Last but not least is our audit. We're running Linus for a professional gap analysis. In this particular lab, we don't hope we're secure. We want objective data to validate that we're secure. This is where we stop playing with the tools and start engineering our security. Listen, the blueprint is live and the strategy is set. I told you we'd move pretty fast. Now let's execute and get started. Let's run the sudo password command to change the default to a strong passphrase. We want a sequence of 3 or 4 random words joined by special characters to guard against traditional dictionary attacks. It's the best way to keep the front door locked. Done. We're taking control of our access now by creating a standard user account. No more using root. We want to use a standard account to keep us safe. We do this by using the sudo add user command, followed by the new name that we want to give to the account, and the -- geckos double quote flag. That flag is key because it bypasses the finger information prompts, keeping our terminal nice and clean. This lets us implement the principle of least privilege. If the session gets hijacked, the attacker is absolutely powerless with a standard user account. There we go. Count created. Now we move on to vulnerability management. We're going to run a chained command here. apt update to sync the repositories, followed by apt upgrade with the Y flag. This allows us to have auto confirmation for all of our patches. In the field, we call this security hygiene. You wouldn't go into a mission with outdated intel, would you? Then don't go into a lab with outdated software. This hardens the OS against known exploits before we even touch the network. We're syncing the baseline now, and it does take a little while to be able to run these updates and upgrades, so be patient while it's working. For our network perimeter, we're installing UFW, the uncomplicated firewall. By default, a fresh Kali install is really loud. This is simply tech talk, meaning that the system is constantly making its presence known to the network. Those open ports and services are just waiting for a handshake. If someone runs a port scan, you'll certainly be seen like a flashlight in a dark room. Let's type the sudo UFW default deny incoming and sudo UFW default allow outgoing commands followed by enable. By setting a default deny posture, we're telling the system, if I didn't ask for it, drop it. We're going dark. We've just cut the noise and made ourselves invisible to the world around us. This gate is now closed. Now, on a side note, you should allow SSH inbound only if you plan on connecting to your own device remotely. If not, leave it closed. Now it's time for endpoint defense. Even with the firewall active, we still need an internal watchdog. So we're installing Clam AV. Think of this as our internal security detail. If a malicious file somehow bypasses our perimeter or is introduced via a storage device, Clam AV is the engine that detects and flags it. We're not just locking the front door anymore. We're placing sensors inside of every room of the house. In a high-stakes environment, you never assume your perimeter is 100% impenetrable. You plan for the breach always. And now on to our final step, system auditing. We're initiating a scan with Linus. That's right, it's pronounced Linus. I know, I said Linus before, but think of Linus as a high-level security inspector. While a virus scanner looks for bad files, Linus looks for bad architecture. It's examining over 300 different checkpoints, from kernel parameters to file permissions, to see if our house is built on a rock or if it's built on sand. While the tool is scanning, you'll notice that the report is color-coded. Green means that we're solid. Yellow and red, however, represent suggestions and warnings. There's a number called the hardening index. It's the overall grade of your attack box. Most default systems start at a failing grade. By following our steps today, we've already pushed that number up, although we still have work to do. I'm leaving those remaining warnings in the report for a reason. This is where you take the lead. Each suggestion comes with a read more link or a specific configuration file. Your next task is to research those warnings, apply the fixes, and run this audit again. We've built the foundation. Now it's your job to finish the build. Take the posture and harden your machine. And that brings us to the end of the lockdown. In just 10 minutes, we've taken a new Kali installation and transitioned it into a hardened attack box. We've locked down the identity, established a default deny network perimeter, and deployed Clam AV as our internal watchdog. The Linus audit we ran at the end, that's your roadmap. Don't just look at the score, look at the suggestions. Every warning in this report is a rabbit hole that will make you a better ethical hacker. Research the config files, tweak the kernel settings, and own your environment. In this world, you're either a learner or a liability. Well, until our next episode, always be ready and set to defend.
3, 2, 1.